Chic, elegant, stylish, unique, maybe a little quirky too. Welcome back to DSF. My name is Logan and today we are here for the media preview of the all-new Dongfeng Box. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Please don't come at me. I don't know how to pronounce it very well. But surely some of you will already be a little bit familiar with the Dongfeng brand because it has been around commercially for a while, but this is their first passenger vehicle here in Malaysia and also the brand's first EV here in Malaysia. Now I know some of you might already be tired, right? Like fatigued maybe even from all the new Chinese brands popping up left, right and center. But I tell you what, despite my personal bias against most EVs, I actually kind of like the design of this car a little bit. So earlier one of our media friends remarked that he said this doesn't look too futuristic like some EVs try to be. And I'm inclined to agree, but that's not necessarily a good thing, in my opinion at least. So let's take a look at why I think this car is more quirky than anything else. Starting with right here, you've got your very classic design, right? The logo is right here, and you've got a light bar running the length of the front, which you can see is a nice design. Might blind some drivers when you're driving at night, but hey, I'm pretty sure they thought of something to dim it in a way. The headlight design as well, as you guys can see, it's C-shaped, reminiscent of a certain Japanese car's tail lights from a few years ago. I won't name names, but basically there are two variants, both of which look pretty much the same in the front. This is the higher spec E3 variant with a range of about 430 kilometers and a few extra toys and goodies that you can play with, which we'll talk about later. But the first one would be, as you can see, sensors here and cameras all around. Come on, don't be shy, take a close look. You get a 520-degree field of view on the cameras in this car. That's not as much as you get in the lower spec E2 variant. But then again, Dongfeng does believe that the main focus will be this E3 variant because they claim that most of their stock will be this E3 variant, and this is what most customers would want because it is the top spec, top of the line variant. So what makes it different? Come along with me. You've seen the front, not too different from the lower E2 variant. We'll show you another purple E3 variant soon, along with the lower spec E2 variant later. But the main difference you will notice right off the bat is this, the rim design. So this is a slightly sportier looking rim design in my opinion. We'll show you the E2s later. This I feel is a lot nicer than what the E2 does because that looks very conventionally EV. You've of course also got your charging port here, and this top spec variant can charge DC charging from 30 to 80% in just 30 minutes. Now, of course, you will notice off to the side, this car looks very wide, very spacious, and very long. And that's because the E3 variant is slightly longer than the E2 variant, coming in at 2650 mm for the wheelbase. So it's got a bit more space in the back. So after we've come along the side, you can see Dongfeng over here, despite being named Nami in some other markets, but it's called Dongfeng here, Dongfeng Box specifically. You've got another logo right here. Very quirky round tail lights. I don't know if this was entirely necessary, but you know, you've also got struts here on the booth, which makes it somewhat like a power tailgate, but not exactly. And you've also got a false floor down here with a little bit more storage for your tire repair kit, your inflator, whatnot. You can see there's no tonneau cover here, so do note that. But very spacious. It does have a very high lip though, but I think that's you know, kind of a intentional design choice, I should say, to give the car, a bit more room in the back, in the booth. So let's take you inside the Dongfeng Box and show you what else you can get in there. Okay, so inside the new Dongfeng Box, you'll notice that again, everything is just quirky for the sake of being quirky, or at least to me it looks like that because there's so many designs here that could have just been more conventional. Let's start up here. Look at the size of this vanity mirror. That's like 60%, 70%, I guess, of the entire compartment, right? And the light is right here, which is just one more thing that'll run out of battery and break later down the line. So you're gonna have to foot the bill for that. Second thing, you have this weird oblong, ovally shaped steering wheel, but despite being oval shaped, they still added a little white line here to show you that this is when the steering wheel is straight. Kind of makes me think that they expect people to take this on track. But then again, it's an EV. Why would you be taking it on track? It's more of a family car than anything, and EVs wouldn't last that long on the track anyway. But still, nice feature to have. two-spoke steering wheel, so you got all your buttons and controls right here. Very simple for when you're driving. Aircon vent right in the middle here. Huge 12.8-inch infotainment screen, central infotainment screen, which is a stark contrast to this tiny little digital driver display right here. But I assume there's only going to be very, very essential and necessary information and nothing else in here, which is good to stop yourself from being distracted while driving, unlike some cars that have so many of the features just jammed on in here. But as you can see, there are also some nice features like interior ambient lighting. You can see here down at the footwell, and you can even change the color. So now it's purple. Let's make it red. You see it changed to red. Let's make it blue. It's changed to blue. Let's make it yellow. It's changed to yellow. I go to a random color. It's back to blue. So you can see that the aircon here also runs through the length of the car, which kind of mimics the headlight design in a way. It's a nice design. And over here, again, floating theme. So this is a little bit strange to me because yes, the cubby space is deep, it's big, it's very good. The whole car is very spacious. Even in the rear, it's very spacious. You have your washable wireless charger right here, followed by more storage down here with your cup holders and even more storage, a 12-volt socket and a USB-A port. So why does this need to be like this? Well, in a sense, yes, it makes the car feel a bit bigger, a bit more spacious, a bit more airy. You know, you've got some room here between you and your passenger. But it's a very odd design choice, especially considering that they could have just made more storage space if they had gone with a more conventional middle approach. But then again, it's nice that they do have the aircon vents down here and not blowing directly on your hands, which is a good thing. Of course, your seats do get perforation, which makes me assume they'll have heated and or ventilated seats. But one thing you do have to note, this purple car comes with an exclusive purple color interior. So Dongfeng says they'll have 4 colors: white, green, which we'll show you later on the lower spec E2 variant, blue, which is this one, and purple, which is next door, that will have a purple interior as well. And this one also has a blue interior color, as you can see, because this is the blue exterior. These are exclusive to the blue and purple colors, of course, both of which are only for the E3 variant. So you get the blue car, you get the blue interior. You get the purple car, you get the purple interior. And the last quirky feature I would like to point out, look at this. You have a drawer here instead of a regular schmegular good old glove box that you can just pull out. Again, this thing I feel is just quirky for the sake of being quirky because there's very limited space in here. It's not even that deep. You could have had way more space if you had just had a regular old glove box. But then again, maybe that's what they were going for. They wanted a very odd or maybe just something memorable kind of design, right? Which, yeah, it is very memorable in my opinion. So let's take you to the other E3 variant, the purple one, and show you the green color E2 lower spec variant, and let's see what you think of those cars as well. So that was the first thing you guys would have noticed, right? The rim, it looks different. It's got a different design. That's because this green color car right here is the E2, the lower spec variant. So what's the biggest difference? Well, first things first, like I said, that car has a slightly longer wheelbase. The E3 variant, which is the highest spec variant, has a slightly longer wheelbase at 6250mm, which makes it more spacious in the rear. It also has a different rim design and of course has more range as well as toys to play with, like I mentioned on the inside, a much wider field of view, ambient lighting, blah, 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 blah. You get the gist. You'll get all the information when we get all the information. But for now, notice again, you see there's no camera bump here, which means that this car has less features in general. But then again, Dongfeng does not expect to sell too many of this E2 variant. This is mainly for R&D purposes. They assume most people will go for the E3 variant, and I kind of feel like they are right, because that car just feels a lot nicer to look at in my opinion. But other than that, you can see the design, 100% mostly the same. The rim design is slightly different. The interior will be slightly different, which, let's talk about that. Come and see inside the car for a second. So yes, you'll notice very nice door handles though. Frameless windows, you still get those. And on the inside, okay, look at this. Black and gray. Black and gray interior. You don't get any special coloration going on here. In fact, okay, there is ambient lighting still though. So yeah, other than that, like I mentioned, the purple car gets a purple interior, the blue car gets a blue interior. But other than that, gray and black. Same motif going all around. Still get ambient lighting at least, so that's nice. Space more or less the same, design more or less the same, booth more or less the same, features just a bit less. and of course less range at 330 kilometers. Now, the performance, well, again, we don't know 100% what the performance will be on this car. That one we will know on launch. We will let you know when we know. But for now, just know that the top speed on these cars is rated at 140 kilometers an hour. The maximum battery output is rated at 70 kilowatts. So that's actually quite powerful, despite being a family sedan. Well, not sedan, a family crossover SUV kind of looking thing. Sorry, I just like sedans. But you get the gist, right? More or less the same. So let's quickly take a look at the purple E3 variant of the Dongfeng Box before we conclude today's video. Psst, you want to know a secret? Come here. Look at this, the charging port's already in. So Dongfeng says that you can charge the E3 variant from 30 to 80% DC charging, yeah, that's DC charging, in just 30 minutes. Take that. Not many other cars on the market right now that can do those exact numbers. But once again, this is the E3 variant, the highest spec of the two, the one that will make up the majority of the sales. And as you can see in this purple color, it's quite unique. Who do you think the target market would be considering these colors? And of course, this has the different rims, blah, blah, blah. And in a second, we'll take you inside to show you that it also has the purple interior. Actually, I think we can do that right now. Follow me. Look at the door design, by the way. See? Simple, elegant, no effort at all. Ta-da! Purple interior, just like I mentioned. So you'll notice it's purple and white. And again, this is exclusive to the purple exterior color of the car. The blue one you guys saw earlier had a blue interior. And for the other two colors, white and green, you will only get the gray and black. But for all that, again, no official pricing. That will be upon launch. We will let you know. For all these features, what do you think of the new Dongfeng Box here in Malaysia?